What's up, everybody, and welcome to the SWOLECAST here, Week 15 on RotoGrinders.com. I'm David Kitchen, joined by Peter Overzet. Peter, you've got some new swag going on.
That's right. Actually, though, Dave, could you just redo my introduction real quick and say, as seen on MiamiDolphins.com?
Welcome to the SWOLECAST. I would like to welcome our co-host, Peter Overzet. You might recognize him as the guy seen on MiamiDolphins.com, hashtag Fins Up. We also have Dan Gasper, Mr. Tuttle 05, on with us, and then also guest Davis Mattek on the show. Davis, how are you?
You know, it's great. It's amazing what a little bit of leverage Pete has been able to create from his appearance on my very successful independent podcast.
Oh,
didn't the website say on his TakeCast with buddy Davis Mattek?
Boots on the ground, I did not click the link.
He couldn't bring himself.
What a fraud.
Oh, my goodness.
What a fraud.
It's a good thing you didn't, because they photoshopped you in a little sidecar of my main motorcycle.
Just a heads up, we don't have as much news as we usually do. We're recording this early in the morning because
early in the morning. Are you on Davis Mattek contractor hour time?
The office just opened here, RotoGrinders. So, Davis, I don't know what is so important for you to move everyone's schedule around, but we are happy to cater to you. If that means having you on the show.
Look, man, I could have made it work regardless. I'm very appreciative for all of you for obliging me.
Is that a Jeff Janis jersey you're wearing?
I don't know if my audio went out or if your guys did.
He asked you if you're wearing a Jeff Janis jersey.
His earbuds aren't working again.
God.
Mr. Apple. Do you know what platform this wouldn't happen on? If you had a dual screen LG G8X phone. I should also say I got Dr. Chow's tweets pulled up here in case we need to reference them, as well as the counselor's new social media course that I might be signing up for $139.
So who sent you this phone?
An LG representative.
That is amazing.
Did they listen to your interview on MiamiDolphins.com?
Yeah, I mean, he had actually never even heard of the podcast that won't be named. Davis can't even fire back right now. This is so good.
I'm back in. Just one of my AirPods died because I was doing shows before this.
Wow. What a string there, promoting an Android phone followed by my AirPods died. I mean, just top-level ownage right there.
Davis, you got to get those AirPods Pro, bro. Much better battery life. All right. Tuttle, as far as this week goes, can you give us a nice little overview? Because I know that you have been researching this slate like crazy.
Yeah, I have no idea because we're recording this so early, so I pretty much haven't looked at anything yet.
It's the SWOLECAST first look show.
Do you guys really not look at stuff until Thursday?
I have looked at stuff. Davis,
I've looked at stuff. It was a joke.
I've looked at some stuff.
I think we can get a pretty good guess on what Peter's stacks and picks for the week are going to be.
I'm not that.
And Kitchens as well, because the highest over under this week.
Boots on the ground,
total.
D. Hember.
Tanithril and D. Hember.
Gotta pay the Derrick Henry highest ever career price coming off of a game where he missed time with a hamstring injury and the coach said he's gonna get load managed. That feels like a jam to me.
Gotta do it.
Davis, should play him in Cash Kitchen.
Every week you speak down to Derrick Henry.
Oh, you can't play him. He only catches 2 passes a game. Oh, you can't play that guy.
You know what he does? Just smashes every week.
Kitchen, I think this is a great week for you to go all in on Derrick Henry.
I agree.
And I would encourage you to play him in cash games.
I think you should pair just go Tennessee onslaught.
Well, I think you should run it back with Carlos Hyde. Just the double D Hember game where it's just body blows on body blows.
Nobody wants to tackle Carlos Hyde.
I'm like George Kittle. You know what that means, Peter? Tell him.
It means Dave's a grown-ass man, guys.
That's right.
Dave puts him on, and I swing.
Yeah. That means I could do whatever the hell I please. And just like last week when I stacked Tanithrill with A.J. Brown on FanDuel, and he led me to the promised land after a tilting first slate of games.
How much did you win?
What's that?
How much did you win?
Well, I cashed everything.
Dope.
It was like 4 figures. 4 figures. So
does that include the decimal after the decimal?
No, that's 4 figures.
That's 4 figures flat, bro.
I guess I could have.
We're talking
said
undrafted free agent money.
I guess I should have said Davis's career earnings as how much I won last week.
The slam dunk.
All right, Davis, you win a GPP yet?
In NFL? No.
All right, let's start with that game though. As far as like, do you think? I agree, Derrick Henry. For people, they were up by 3 scores when they took him out in the fourth quarter last game, but he still did not look like the same Derrick Henry.
No, he's fully healthy.
But it is D Hember, and he is playing on a team that has a amazing top 5 quarterback now. So just talk about that game a little bit, if you would, Davis.
Probably will be playing one guy from that game, DeAndre Hopkins.
Love to see it. You won't be playing any Tanithrill.
I think the issue with playing Tannehill is he's at a price now where you have to double stack him, or he's got to run for a touchdown to be in optimal lineups.
Not on FanDuel, my friend. He is still, this is going to shock you, he is still QB 14.
So what you're telling me is that FanDuel has been slow to adjust to a trend in fantasy point scoring? I'm unclear if I can believe you on this.
What I'm telling you. And by the way, while we're mentioning sites, shout out to DraftKings for leaving Gordon Hayward minimum salary a couple of nights.
That was great.
The salary, Davis at one point wanted to apply for a salary adjuster position.
Dude, think of how good I would have been. Think of how good I would have been at FanDuel. I just move everyone $100 and that's it. That's all you got to do.
I just imagine Davis knocking on some dev's glass office door. Excuse me, there's some things we need to adjust for tonight.
No, I actually paid Davis, like back in the OG days, some site paid me money for adjusting salary. So I just gave the task to Davis.
Kitchen subcontracted it out to me.
How much did you scoop off the top, Kitchen?
It was like $400 a month. Like it wasn't a lot, but Davis, come to find out, was just going every third row adjusting by 100.
He was probably saying it took him like 30 hours to do it.
And here's how many people ever complained or knew. 0. Yeah. Literally never.
That's also how many people were playing on that site.
Work harder, or work smarter, not harder. Kitchen?
There you go. All right. Let's just go ahead and start with quarterbacks since where the overview is gone. Let's start with quarterbacks. And Davis, who's your main quarterback? You're not playing Deshaun because you said you're only playing.
I lied. Yeah, Deshaun, I think is the best quarterback of the slate. I'll give you this. I will give you this, Mr. Kitchen. The number, not the number 1, but the number 2 quarterback. No, the number 1 quarterback in the dailyroto.com projections, raw points. It's Ryan Tannehill. And I spent 15 minutes arguing about it with Leone yesterday. And from what I can tell, it's because he just is responsible for so much of their touchdowns. So when they have a high team total like this, it just is what it is. I like Deshaun, Mahomes, and Jameis the most, and Kyler, of course, at 5,600 feels like the best value play, if you will.
Yeah. Thrill, I was listening to Lord Reeves on the Pick Six podcast, basically said that Tannehill's like red zone usage as far as like touchdowns is just unheard of, like 40% compared to like league average 23%, and that the team that gives up the most as far as touchdowns in the red zone, the Houston Texans. So it's just a match made in heaven for Thrill.
Sounds sustainable to me, yeah.
Tuttle,
doubling the league average sounds sustainable to me.
So because there have been some nerds that have come out and say this is not sustainable. Do you want to?
I mean, I was that nerd last week,
go ahead?
And I got dunked on, so I'm not going to do it again this week.
All right. So Tuttle, who's your favorite quarterback of the week?
Yeah, it's all about pricing and which site you're playing on. DraftKings, Davis already mentioned. Kyler's kind of the cheap guy. He's the guy that's initially popping for me in some of these builds. And a lot of it's going to depend on if we get DeAndre Washington or not. There's been back and forth reports on that. But if we get DeAndre Washington, then we'll have a little bit extra salary to spend at the quarter.
Man, I really hope we do get DeAndre Washington, because these non-DeAndre Washington teams, you have to play a guy by the name of Chris Carson. Don't know if anyone's heard of this guy, but he's one of the worst guys to roster ever.
I think people are going to play him regardless.
I'm 0% to have him if we get DeAndre, I think.
Peter, give your stat or your spiel.
About quarterbacks?
About Chris Carson, chalk week.
Oh, Chris Carson sucks, man. Don't play Chris Carson when he's chalky. It's one of the few words I live by. Ask me which quarterback I want to play this week.
Peter, what quarterback do you want to play this week?
Thinking about getting blowed, Dave.
It's Blau.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about getting blowed. Yeah.
Loud.
You're thinking about getting blowed.
Well,
why in the world would you want to play? Like, I am all about like bad quarterbacks, but like this week with Kyler Murray 5,600, this just speaks more to your fraudness.
Yeah. I'm actually very upset about Peter right now, not like being all in on Kyler.
Do I need to run to my kitchen and get the funnel? I don't know if you guys heard about how the Bucs defense works, but it's a funnel for pass production. And then you just stack them up with Kenny Golladay, Amendola, you bring it back with O.J. Howard, and then you ship the spy. So I don't really know what the whole issue is. Also, shout out to me for 6Xing in the spy last week. People
dude, break even Pete. Break even Pete is coming, bro.
Sounds a lot like sexing. If you
how did you not go with funniest guy in the Miami Dolphins, Ryan Fitzpatrick, as your quarterback selection though? Guy led the team in rushing last week.
Yeah, I want a guy who's going to get vultured by 4 Laird TDs. That sounds fun.
Well, 2 of them will be receiving touchdowns though.
I do like Kyler. Okay, I like Kyler. But I'm worried about that game. So last week, they're now playing slow. They're not going no huddle anymore. They want to use Kenyon Drake. I'm just worried about that game being able to pop off, where I'm pretty sure Tampa Bay Detroit is going to be an old-fashioned boat race.
You've been so inconsistent with your Kyler love, dude. It's like maddening.
Yeah, it's really disappointing.
It's Bayesian is what it is. And I would play Jameis, but he's like throwing tennis balls at practice right now.
Jameis is, I mean, he's honest to God, he is going to reward the believers so hard this week. Like, I might go in MME, I might go 150 Jameis double stacks.
What kind of min maxes are we setting with this?
Min two, and then probably correlate key boost, Kenny Golladay.
Correlate key boost?
Someone hasn't used the Daily Roto Optimizer before, and it shows.
Hey, if you want to send me a free sub, all my stuff that I get these days is compliments on the house.
That's honest to God. I can't believe that phone exists. Just get a laptop.
Before we go on, I also want to clear up something. There were basically the blitz optimal last week was a very popular play. Davis said he also locked in. Who did you lock in, Davis? One player?
With CMC locked, the blitz and
it gave you the same thing as the blitz. So like Cardi and Davis had the same lineup. And here's my question, because I know what the blitz optimal was because I saw it. It did not have Patrick Laird in it, Davis.
I didn't play Laird in cash. I locked him in MME.
Fraud.
Fraud.
That's not fraudulent?
Very.
After all the building him up, the bits, everything, and you not playing him in cash last week in a prime spot,
Fraud.
Not fraud?
Yeah. All right.
My
let's
MME
just
entries
see it.
were greater than Peter's SPY entry. I will say that.
Oof, wow.
Davis, have you ever won a GPP? Because
I've never 6x in the SPY before. I'm not break even Davis yet.
have you ever gotten second in the GPP you created for your own listener league?
We got to do a layered listener league this weekend where everyone has to lock him in and they don't get paid out if they don't play him.
I like that. We'll talk to DraftKings. All right.
Let's open up DraftKings.com, NFL, and build a lineup.
It's one of my new favorite runners of the show, by the way. I really like this bit.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's my bit. You're welcome to steal it though, like you stole the layered bit. Let's go with Davis. You can start us out.
Jameis.
No.
Dude, he's literally not going to play this week.
Do you guys think that Jameis having a broken thumb is going to change the way he plays quarterback in any way?
Dude, I have Chow's
Oh, we got Chow in the Discord.
There's no way. They say he was throwing tennis balls at practice today, Davis.
But he did get hurt last week. He did come back in and completed 10 of 13 passes.
Peter.
I don't know.
Peter.
What's up, Tuttle?
Just look at his price, man.
Is it nice?
Yeah.
He's QB3 and with a hurt hand,
and we're playing him in cash.
And Davis wants to play him. All right, we're gonna overrule that. We're just gonna old school overrule it. Tuttle, you go first.
Let's go Christian Kirk.
The guy who was telling us that we haven't paid enough attention to the slate this earlier in the week just picked the guy that's not going to play this week. Let's not forget that.
I think he's gonna play.
Jameis is for sure gonna play.
You don't play QB. You don't play QB3 with a broken thumb who just lost his second best wide receiver. You just don't. You don't do it.
If I was Fantasy Mansion, I would argue that Mike Evans' injury might make the Buccaneers offense a little bit more high flying.
All right, so we got Christian Kirk. Who's next?
Peter, I will give you a chance to redeem yourself.
Yeah, Patrick Mother effin' Laird.
All right, Peter, I'm going to give you the opportunity to make your case for Patrick Laird because
he's a lock, David.
All right.
Let's
hear it, Peter.
So your lineups should always tell a story. And when you put Patrick Laird into your lineup, this is the story you're telling yourself. You're saying this guy is 4,500 on DraftKings.com where you get 1 point per reception. Over the last 2 weeks, only 8 running backs have played more snaps than our Laird and Savior. He has 10 targets over that period. There were real humans who thought Zach Zenner was going to get touches eating into the Laird. Let me tell you, Zach Zenner got waived on Tuesday. Last week, Laird had 19 touches while receiving 79% of the running back carries for the Dolphins and 71% of the running back targets, okay? The New York Football Giants are 25th in DVOA versus running backs in the pass game and have a bottom 5 pass rush. If you don't play Patrick Laird this week, then maybe DFS isn't for you.
Oh, so close.
I did miss the landing.
Oh,
you did not stick the landing.
It was so
Everything
close.
else.
That was a 30K
really
clip Simon could have put on Twitter, and I botched the landing.
You didn't want to go with send me head to heads to FF Comedy Hour _ Pete.
Imagine playing cash games. What a sad existence that would be.
All right, Davis, we have Laird and Kirk. I'll let you redeem yourself right now.
Okay. Well, can I pick a stack for my guy then?
No.
All right. Well, I'll go DeAndre Hopkins then.
Must be.
All right, we've got Hopkins.
Here.
Yeah.
It's a good cash game team.
All right, so I'm just gonna put it out there, Davis.
I was going to pick Justin Watson, but you said no stacks.
I'm going to go with Saquon. Since we already went Patrick, Saquon Barkley. Davis, how do you feel about Saquon in our lineup at 7,700?
He's basically having the worst running back season that anyone's had this decade, but it's against Miami, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
He's playing the Dolphins.
Davis wants to play Saquon over Chris Carson.
Is that
true?
Think I will play Saquon over Chris Carson. He's got check down Eli back, and that's pretty big.
Yeah, I thought that was the thing too. Until he had only 4 targets in one yard last game.
It's crazy how bad Saquon has been this year. He's been John Hilliman-esque.
Tuttle, you're up.
So we gotta save a little money here, huh?
We do.
In this economy, Tuttle? Yeah.
Oh, I have a pants off play.
Okay, let's hear it.
Danny Amendola.
Ooh.
My man just disrespecting Travis Fulgham's legacy like this.
Pants off for Danny Amendola.
I like it. He's a nice bring back when you jam in Winston.
4,100. All the
Dude, you guys are wrong about Jameis. He is gonna mash it in.
All right. Overzet.
Well, you guys want me to pick a quarterback here? I do feel like Kyler is slipping.
We have
from
a quarterback.
My brand.
No, we don't have Jameis.
You don't have a
Jameis
quarterback.
is not on this team.
We don't have a quarterback.
Okay.
What are you guys doing?
I'm putting in Kyler. I want that.
You guys really think Jameis is hurt and not going to play?
What odds will you give me on him not playing? You say he's a lock to play, so you give me 50 to 1.
I'll give you plus 150.
Plus 150, so that means that you think it's like a 45% chance he doesn't play.
No, it just means I don't want to gamble on this with you. I'd rather play Jameis.
Peter, this is the Davis Mattek that
This is like the 2014 Fantasy Insider Davis Mattek
This
move?
is like Mike Evans listed doubtful to start the season. Just completely zero shot this guy's playing. Davis just keeps touting the hell out of him. He's gonna play. He's gonna play. So I mean, he has a really good read on Buccaneers training staff.
I'm going to play Kyler, and we can just move on from this whole Jameis situation.
All right. I will go with Tyler Higbee at tight end, just because for some reason Tyler Higbee is the new Cooper Kupp.
Our generations, if you will.
Yeah. So 3,900. That means we got some money to spend. So Davis, who do you want to spend on?
Let's go Amari Cooper.
Why not Cardinals D and then a guy that rhymes with D Hember?
I don't want to pay 8,500 for 13 carries.
But
that doesn't fit anyway.
Yeah,
that's $100 short.
If you played Amari Cooper, you're left with 4,200 left. If you want to play the most expensive Schmatriot's defense play.
This is what we call optimization of a lineup for cash games. Mm-hmm. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
You throw that receiver in the flex.
Yes.
You pay.
Tuttle, let's move to running backs because I do want to give you your credit. You have been talking about who people might hate, but it's a good play. It's always how you start it. And then you end it with Todd Gurley. And Todd Gurley has been the guy recently, just getting all the love, all the catches. Tell me how you feel about Todd Gurley this week.
Yeah, he's cheap on DraftKings. He's $6K. 7,600 on the FanDuel is not quite as nice of a price. Still in play over there. I still think he's going to get overlooked a little bit this week, and I don't know if he's going to fit my cash game construction or not. Again, a lot of this depends on DeAndre Washington's news, which we don't know because we're recording this on a Monday before the week. But
yeah.
Do you think in 4 hours from now we'll know definitively on Josh Jacobs?
Exactly. Yes, 100%.
Oh, okay.
Today's practice.
I'll book that with you.
Okay, I'll give you plus 150.
Okay, deal.
No. Okay. But anyways, I do think he's going to get overlooked. I think people are going to go back to the Dustquan Barkley at 7,700. Chris Carson, I think, is going to be the highest owned running back on this slate if we do not get DeAndre Washington. If we get DeAndre Washington, it'll be him, but then Carson will be the next guy in line. And I do think it's interesting if you're not playing both Carson and Barkley. That could be a deciding point this week, I guess, in cash games. Who you pick, and I would go with Carson over Barkley. The track record's there, the matchup's there, and a much more efficient offense. We can rely on them to score the ball, actually, which Barkley, even though it's a solid matchup, their offense is a lot less efficient.
No guarantee of points.
Yeah, zero guarantee at all. So Carson's the guy over me over Barkley, but I do think there's path to playing both in cash games.
All right. Peter, as far as like some of these running back decisions, why don't you like Chris Carson? Is it just because he's chalk? Because Rashad Penny tore his ACL.
I know
he's going to get like all the love. Why do you hate him?
Well, to me, Chris Carson is like, when you play Will Fuller or you play a boom bust receiver, there's a lot of different ways that they can yank around his usage. Would anyone be surprised if they come out and they let CJ Prosise, get the pass work and Chris Carson is relegated just rushing duties? Are we sure they're going to be in a positive game script? I mean, his carry projection, I'm sure, is nice, but I just think when he's popular, I mean, you cash guys can do whatever the hell you want. I mean, float your boat.
They're playing against the Panthers. They're going to be in positive game script.
Yeah, you give me plus 150 on that.
I'll give you a plus 150 that the Seahawks win.
I watched that Panthers team last week. I will give you whatever odds you want.
I'm just telling
Kyle Allen is so bad, and to make matters worse, he vultured a C-Mac touchdown at the end on the 1 yard line, and he threw it to another one on 3 to Ian Thomas. Like
I'm just saying, playing these guys that don't catch a ton of passes and making assumptions about their game script is a good way to lose money. That's all I'll say.
All right. So would you want to get up if you think they might be playing negative game script? Would you want to get up for C-Mac then?
Yeah, I'm probably playing Laird, C-Mac, and I like Gurley a lot too.
Well, and we're gonna know about DeAndre Washington literally in like an hour or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we're recording this on Monday, so I think we'll know by Thursday afternoon.
Sounds good.
If Josh Jacobs is out, what I fully expect to happen is everyone to load up on DeAndre Washington,
Rashard,
and then for Jalen Richard go nuts, just because
you played Richard, right? Why? Honestly, I want to know why this was a toss. I've been afraid to ask all week. Why?
I played Washington.
I played Richard
a bunch.
Why was that a toss? I know I've heard sharp people throw it around that it was a toss up, but why was that? Are they not team preseason?
I think just because Richard has done it before, maybe. I don't know.
And I thought that he would be
his role was going to change.
Well, I thought they would be a negative game script. I thought the Titans would be up since they were favored, and that he would be catching all the passes. And for some reason, because he caught the passes even when Jacobs was in there, but for some reason, DeAndre Washington was not just a featured back. He also got 7 targets and six catches. That was unexpected.
The real thing, if you were super sharp, Davis should have just 150'd some tournaments with DeAndre Washington, who was 1% owned in the million.
I had him in the $50 single entry.
You had him in a season
single entry. And, I on those, so I thought that was sharp. The thing I didn't do that was sharp was I played Patrick Mahomes on those teams, and I believe he got like 14 DK points, so.
You just like targeting the Patriots with
target the Patriots.
Gotta
target the Patriots.
Davis, do you need $50? I can help you get into the $100 single entry.
I said I was in non-single entry.
He was in $150 worth of GPPs, Peter.
Oh man, Davis, this is the week that you ship the dime. I know it.
I just need Laird to get 30.
They're going to call you Davey Dimes after this week. All right.
I'm legit just locking Jameis and Dimes and walking away.
Can we Can we talk about Tuttle, one of your old favorite running backs, Adrian Peterson?
Lock for 30 touches, right?
Big lock for 30 touches.
If Silva was here, he goes, "It's gonna be out there bobbing that head, man, bobbing that head."
No, dude, we're like 24 hours away from a Chris Thompson asterisk tweet from Silva. Honestly,
no, dude, he's a huge AP stan, man. He will cape for him. All he needs is just a little bit of space, and Silva's going hard into the hole with AP love.
All right. Any other running back takes before we move on?
What's the Miles Sanders take this week?
very good play.
And people aren't going to play him because of the whole
Boston
cramping.
Scott. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think? I mean, Tuttle, this is where you shine, where you tell people what they did wrong or what they're going to do wrong based on last week, like misinterpretation of data, and that's what you're saying. That Boston Scott is not going to be featured this week.
Fluke game.
Oh, man, he looks so good, though.
More like a cramp game, but yeah.
Tuttle, you need to take that note for the comment section of starting to deliver your sharp takes with more conviction and enthusiasm.
My bad. I don't want to waste it on this one though.
Okay.
I tried to bring it out of him.
No, I don't want to waste it on this one. I got to find something I'm more convicted with.
All right, let's talk about wide receivers. Is this finally Christian Kirk week?
Aren't there like a billion like actual cheap options?
Oh, that's what I mean, there are.
Well,
but he is also kind of cheap. And
I mean, there are dudes who are flat 3K who are going to get 10 targets.
Are you going to tout Chris Lacey for us right now, Davis?
No,
right,
Greg Ward and Justin Watson.
The latter of which is not a flat 3K, but
3.7. Watson to me is like, it's making it move a little bit.
Going to be catching all those tennis balls from Jameis out there on Sunday.
It's going to be a shame.
91st percentile SPARQ score athlete, set all of his college, Penn University, set all the records for receiving. He's already, done a year of, going through the NFL ringer, been just a bit player this year, but I think he's just going to go play Evans's position on the outside, and then Perryman's going to stay in his spot with Godwin playing in the slot.
It's going to be a shame when Scotty Miller takes all of Justin Watson snaps.
Scotty Miller would rotate with Perryman.
When Darius Slay shadows Justin Watson.
I'll give you plus 150 on that.
Davis, just so you know, if they run Chris Godwin in the slots, Slay will not be shadowing him there. Just wanted to give you that take.
I can't imagine caring. Is Darius Slay even good anymore, or do you just know his name?
He's pretty good. Yeah.
If you had to bet right now, is he in the top 20 of PFF's corner grades?
I would say no.
Tuttle says no. What do you say, Kitchen?
This feels like a trap, doesn't it, Kitchen?
I'd say yes.
You say yes. Okay. Well, you guys continue the show, and I'm going to go find out if this is true.
Yeah, Davis is going to Google, how do you look up matchup ratings?
What is a defense?
I now know another defensive player. I think we actually mentioned him on the show before, but I know Nick Needham now because he's in Patrick Laird's mention. So I got Nick Needham on speed dial when I need to reference a
Darius Slay is the 121st graded defensive corner or defensive back by PFF.
It's pretty solid.
You probably sorted the wrong way.
No, sorted by his overall
grade?
His overall grade is 58.7. His tackling grade's very good though, 78.6.
Who's the other corner that's
pretty good too?
Who's the Lions' other corner that's just absolutely terrible?
Who do you think you're asking this to?
You think Peter Overzet in his Laird jersey with his new phone is just going to be like, oh yeah, I know this guy.
All right,
wrong show, dude. You need Evan Silva and Lord Reeves for that kind of hard hitting analysis.
Tuttle, who's your favorite cheap receiver?
I don't know. I want it to be Watson, but I do have a little bit cold feet that they kind of play around with snaps there.
That Darius Slay shadows him.
Yeah, I want to avoid the 120th best coverage corner in the NFL.
It really does prove to me that Kitchen knows like 11 defensive players and just wants to bring them in whenever he can.
I'm not going to say cheap receiver, but I want to take it as a segue.
I'm asking you a cheap receiver.
Well, I'll get back to that. I want to segue here from where Peter was mentioning, like Nick Needham's basically Miami's top cornerback at this time of year, which bodes well, even if Eli Manning is the opposing quarterback. So
he is the 65th graded cornerback on Pro Football Focus, higher than Malcolm Butler.
But
another defensive player I know.
Their secondary is bad. So if you want the good Darius Slay 10, then he's probably the better player than Darius Slay.
I was leaving it up. I was going to say, will Darius guide our Slay tonight?
No, that was not good. Justin Watson is only 4,500 on FanDuel, by the way, surprisingly.
Perhaps nothing is more tilting to me than Darius Slayton crushing me this year in all formats, because he's like he already is having the best football season of his career, including his college seasons. It's just like I miss on these guys 100% of the time, and it's so tilting.
So would you rather have him over Amendola? Because you mentioned Amendola. Amendola's going to
he's got no double potential.
Targets. Yeah.
I play Slayton instead, I think.
Well, they're not even close to the same price range. Oh, kind of. 600. If you want a really cheap, terrible take that I will deliver with zero conviction because I have no faith behind it, I really think one of these really crappy Patriots receivers are going to have a big week, so I'll go with Jacoby Myers.
Okay.
With zero conviction.
Buy low model.
Terrible take.
Buy low model.
I don't know what that is, but...
Tuttle, I actually have a serious question for you because I very much plan on playing a Giants wide receiver in my #DK #spy lineup this week. I was worried Slayton was going to be incredibly popular coming off the primetime smash. It doesn't look like you guys have him projected super high now, but I kind of like Shepard, especially if Jones goes. Talk me through Shepard versus Slayton.
I mean, it's an ownership thing. I will take the complete L on Darius Slayton. I had to write up the Monday's games. I was like, Eli Manning back, definitely better things for Saquon Barkley's target totals with the dump downs, definitely better for shorter route guys like Sterling Shepard and Golden Tate. And Slayton,
you forgot how bad.
Yeah, Slayton just went off. I still think with Eli under center, it's much more better for the shorter route guys. I think you can get, Sterling Shepard, Golden Tate. They probably don't have the upside that Slayton does. They don't have the upside that Slayton does, but I think on a week to week basis, they'll project for higher target totals, which gives them a little
You're
higher
forgetting
floor.
that Eli he has nothing left to live for. He now has a losing record. He's not going to make the Hall of Fame. He's just throwing YOLO balls, dude.
I didn't even watch Monday night, so I don't know if they were actually deep throws or if it was just large runs after, but.
The one was like complete busted coverage.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Hopkins or Chris Godwin this week? Davis?
Let me check what our projections say. Yeah.
It's Hopkins.
We got Hopkins by like 4 points, but I didn't want to say that and then have it be wrong.
Okay. With QB uncertainty, it's Hopkins.
There's no QB uncertainty, dude.
Even if Jameis is playing this week, there's QB uncertainty.
No more or less than the average uncertainty with Mr. Winston. He's the opposite.
I don't know. A fractured thumb seems not great.
Jameis is just the optimal quarterback total.
All right. Peter, what are your thoughts about Robert Woods?
Robert Woods, thanks for asking. Yeah, he's been kind of a guy that's been a brand guy for me over the years. I've kind of had a tumultuous relationship. It's been great to play him in some of those smash spots and kind of get off the schneid. And I mean, Whopper doesn't really matter when you're Bobby Woods. So I like him a lot this week. The guy just goes out there and smashes, Dave. So,
Doesn't he have a massive whopper now though?
He now ever since Nate Noling said that Cooper Kupp was the new Michael Thomas, Robert Woods has a higher whopper than Cooper Kupp.
Oh man.
Did Michael Thomas only play 20 snaps last week?
It's tough scenes for our buddy Nathan.
Nate Noling's gonna need a Costco size thing of Red Bull to wash that whopper down.
I want to play Robert Woods in cash. Talk me out of it, Tuttle.
I mean, it's fine. He's cheap. He was a Monday night game. Well, no, not Monday night. Sunday night. So the pricing just doesn't reflect. I mean, that's why we have Gurley at 6K too. Robert Woods is at 6,200. I mean, I wouldn't expect Cooper Kupp to just die again. I think that was just a 1 week thing. I haven't read much into McVay's comments this week since, again, we're recording this on a Monday. But yeah.
We're actually recording this during the week 14 games.
Exactly.
We are in the DraftKings back end looking at the salaries right now as before they're even live to the public.
They're just 3X.
I heard Patrick Laird's upside was only like 13 DraftKings points, and he got that without a touchdown last week.
Dude, everyone on Twitter so bad at fantasy football.
They're honestly, it's a bunch of jealous, bitter people.
Yeah, people
really
hate it. They hated it when it was a bit, and now that it's not a bit, they refuse to let themselves buy into it. So they just gotta hope that he does bad.
It 100% is.
It's funny.
I'm taking calls from all the haters on my new free complimentary $800 phone. Call me up.
How mad are people gonna be when we're at the game this weekend?
Oh yeah, we got a big announcement, Dave. This is everything coming together.
Are you going to announce it right now?
We are announcing right now, Davis and I, boots on the ground at the Meadowlands for Patrick Laird's season. We will be there, Davis, my wife, and I. It's going to be quite the group.
They're going to ask if Davis is your son.
I'll make sure to have my forearm tattoos out so they know I'm old enough.
This is my son, Davis.
Although Peter is, can you imagine how old Peter's gonna dress with it being cold out?
Oh.
Like he's such a fake young anyways.
Davis,
you're gonna double sock it with those New Balances.
He's gonna have one of those like face masks, 100%. Yeah.
His Android's gonna not work very well because it's cold outside. It's just gonna be freezing and glitchy. He's not gonna be able to update his team in the spine. He's gonna miss a crucial late swap.
All right, if we're doing this, we're doing this. This is Davis's first time to New York City.
I am terrified. I am terrified.
I was telling him about how to do the subway from the airport. He's like, I'm gonna take Uber. So I think I get kidnapped.
I said nothing about getting kidnapped.
Dude, I want to remember last time Davis had to travel and he almost missed his flight because he needed a smoke break.
I don't smoke anymore. So we got that taken care of.
I'm gonna get Davis on one of those little dog backpack leashes and just walk him around.
Dude, you gotta put a tracking fob on me like from the Mandalorian so that I don't get lost.
I mean the subway. I did the subway.
I'm not taking the subway, dude.
I mean, you guys laughed about getting robbed, but I wouldn't say I felt the most comfortable with all my shit on the subway.
I'm taking Ubers, and I don't care if it takes me 6 hours to get across the city or if it's 100. Like, I'm taking Ubers.
I already told you, Davis, you're getting the Peter Uber. I'm picking you up from the airport. We're driving to the Meadowlands.
Picking up our foster son. We adopted him out of home from college.
I want to get your wife's take on Davis after like a full day with him, just to.
We'll get a dispatch.
Yeah. All right. Let's continue talking about some receivers because last week Deontay Johnson just tore it up. Tuttle, I think you made that call here on the show.
That was my very non-conviction call of the week.
Yes. So this week against Arizona, you've got Jarvis and you also have Odell. You like either of those two?
I mean, I looked like a donkey again last week was not a good week for my blood calls. I looked like a donkey last week in saying I thought Odell, because of the morning news cycle, was actually a really good tournament option. He did have like a 40-yard reception called back, so that hurt his totals a little bit. I still kind of stand by that though. He's playing through a sports hernia. As far as I know, that's more of a pain management thing than an actual physical limitation thing.
Peter?
I've actually had one before.
Can you confirm?
You could just ask me. I played high school.
No, I was going to ask. Oh, you've had a sports hernia.
Yeah, I've played.
That's what I thought you were asking me, Dave. I'm like, first of all, I haven't had one.
I was going to you for the chow take.
No, I thought you were going for a personal anecdote, which I can.
I have had a sports hernia as well. I think anyone that played sports did. So
was it a physical limitation thing or a painful thing for you?
I definitely remember it hurting,
yeah,
but I didn't have
I'll show you my sports hernia, Dave. Little throwback for the super fans.
Yeah, all right, it is a painful thing more than a physical limitation thing. I'm still on Team Odell. I don't care. I think he's a good tournament option. If you're looking for a cash game option here, Landry's the guy, but I'm still on Team Odell.
Imagine playing Landry over Bob Trees, dude.
Right. Yeah, I don't think you need to go to this game in cash, but I do like it in tournaments. I think it pretty naturally builds itself.
Odell, we're at a point where like 5% ownership would be shocking, right?
I mean, but Davis, Jarvis Landry is the Cleveland Bob Woods, and what did Bob Woods do to Arizona? I mean, it's just it's a flowchart, my man.
He eviscerated them.
That's right.
Dude, the flowchart, rough scene for the flowchart last week.
Even the best fall down sometimes.
Is David Njoku at $4,100 the most hilarious DraftKings pricing of the year, other than Gordon Hayward at $3K?
Why?
Are we on to tight ends, Dave?
He played like 9 snaps last week.
Oh, you're saying because it's too much. Yeah.
I mean, Vance McDonald was 4,300 last week.
I bet people played him too.
People played Njoku last week too, actually.
All right, Davis. If DJ Shark is out this week, he missed today's practice
please
again.
Don't.
I mean, Oakland secondary got destroyed.
Dude,
by
I'm going to have to email my customer
Brown.
service representative and ask them to put D.D. Westbrook back in my player pool and remove him from the exclusion feature that only special VIPs get.
Also ask them to adjust his salary down $100 while they're at it.
Oh, to fit your spy team?
No, it's an adjuster joke for you, Davis, but it didn't hit. It's all right. Can't hit them all.
It's all right, dude. Wait, comedy touting's really more of like a 50-50 game. Either they hit or they don't.
It was just a bit. It was a bit. It wasn't real.
Brian, it was just a bit. It was just a bit.
It's a bit, Brian.
Westbrook
right.
may be like a stone cold lock though.
Oh, yes.
I don't, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? DJ
You
Shark
just talked about how there are so many cheap wide receivers, and then you said DD is the stone
here's
cold.
the
Isn't
recipe.
he still battling injury?
Yeah,
but don't let that.
Davis doesn't believe in that.
He's going to do the thing where, what week was that where he played like 10 snaps and left?
The week I played him in cash. I believe that was the week 9 game.
Week 8, it looks like.
Actually, Davis, if you don't think injuries matter, you should play Derrick Henry because you can't say that that's the only reason he's not a good play this week.
Derrick Henry's not a good play because this is the most expensive he has ever been.
Dude just mashes, man. Grown-ass man. Suck it up.
Grown-ass. If D.D. Westbrook scores a touchdown, I'm for sure tweeting grown-ass man. Just doesn't matter how pansy-ass the touchdown is.
I want a video of Overzet on the sidelines yelling, Patrick Laird's a grown-ass man.
We can do that for you, Tuttle.
Thank you.
Do that.
All right. Let's go to FanDuel.com.
FanDuel, NFL, DFS,
NFL.
MVP.
They got their big tournament this weekend.
Yeah. Daddy's got some tickets to that.
Who's going to win $1 million?
Me. I'm just going to claim it.
It's the visualization thing. If you do, as long as you visualize it, it'll come true.
The secret.
All right. So let's start with you, Peter.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Who would I like to play on FanDuel's? Hypothetically, if I played there, I would.
You should play there. People legit faded A.J. Brown in cash last week. Just fish.
I mean, let's just go all in. Let's just put him in there. 5,500.
How would you, dude, Laird is like the best play.
I know, that's what I just said. But sometimes we have kind of an unspoken rule where we don't play guys that we already played on DK, but this is a special exception week.
I don't believe in that.
He's got a very nice smile in his picture too. So,
dude, he's
nice
low key one of the most handsome players in the NFL.
I was literally taken aback when he hopped on the video.
Peter was like crushing on him in real time when we did the show.
This is a judgment-free zone, Peter.
Well, Davis,
right.
You called him a beefy boy last week, so let's also call
I stand by it.
Tuttle, who you got?
I was a little thrown off by the beefy boy thing. Let us go with a pivot off of the chalky Chris Carson. We're going to go to a guy that just doesn't catch passes anymore, but I'm still going to go to it for leverage, Tyler Lockett.
What?
That's right.
Dude, his career is like over.
If he wasn't at 6,900, would you play him?
Yeah, in tournaments for sure. I mean, this is a cash game lineup, but still I want to throw some tournament upside in this lineup, so I'm going Tyler Lockett.
He's not even their number one anymore.
Yeah, he's
DK
also
Metcalf.
not
He's the new
priced
alpha
like their number one.
All right.
That means Metcalf's going to get James Bradbury then, right, David?
Yeah.
Don't we want to avoid James Bradbury?
Yeah, of course. I will go with a Tannehill, AJ Brown stack.
God dang it. Box score
Tannehill
chasing
still
fish.
7,600.
Dude,
AJ
Kitchen,
Brown,
this is like, Kitchen just, you're staying true to your character, bud, and that's what I love about you.
We're all making very unbiased
character.
decisions today.
Do you guys not like the Tennessee Titans passing offense this week? Just put it on record. Put it on record so I can roast your asses next week.
I'll put it on record. I love AJ Brown, but he gets like 4 targets a week.
The efficiency is just off the charts for these guys, and it's completely sustainable.
All right. So you're saying he's too good, basically, in catching passes.
Yeah, and it's 100% going to keep up. It's going to happen. Just keep doing it. Keep playing it.
You know what? Let me tell you, every lineup should tell a story. And AJ Brown is this year's Will Fuller, because people kept on saying not sustainable, and Will Fuller just went out there.
Will Fuller showed him.
Will Fuller showed him. Kept on scoring tutties. I don't know why you would fade AJ Brown this week. All right. Davis?
What kind of bet can we make on AJ Brown?
Plus 150.
Here, what do you like him on DK or FanDuel better, Kitchen?
He would definitely be more of a FanDuel play.
Okay, his median projection on FanDuel is 12.19 points. Would you like to bet the over on 12.19 FanDuel points?
If you are asking, do I want to bet the over on one of the premier wide receivers in the league?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is
plus 150.
The Blitz has him at 10.43.
Well, I trust our math better.
Dave is trying to balance the brand and a plus EV bet. He can't figure out which direction.
It's bad for the brand right now, honestly. It's bad for
so
on the ground.
Let's go over under 11, Davis.
No, I'm using our line on DR.
You won't give me 11.
I will use our line on DR, which has him, by the way, as a negative value play at 12.19 points.
All right.
Put that in your key lock booster and shove it.
Let's do it. 25. 25.
He's a
giving me 3-1 odds.
I want to go on the record and say he's a fine FanDuel play at the price.
He's fine, yeah, but I need the kid, like AJ Brown has now been mentioned more than any other player on this show, so.
He's been mentioned twice, Davis.
That's more than we've talked about anyone because we have not talked very much about daily fantasy.
You waxed poetic about Justin Watson for 10 minutes, so
deserve it.
Don't. deserved should be the guy in a high team total.
I wish I could mute Kitchen like I do to Nate Noling so bad right now.
Dude, you muted me once during our Laird interview, and I got so pissed, dude.
I muted you a bunch of times because your audio was horrible.
Agree to disagree.
Over under 5.5 targets for AJ Brown.
That's the right line, I think.
I mean, over. If you guys think that Derrick Henry's hurt, I would
take the under way faster than I would take any bets on the fantasy points. Because he's just going to mash his 90-yard touchdown.
Yeah, well, I guess if you're putting the math in there, if he gets a 90-yard touchdown every single game, then my side is not as good.
No, don't worry, guys. Davis is smarter than Vegas. Davis does not like receivers who are very good in a high team total when the running back is banged up. Davis has this. He is so much smarter than everybody else. He's got this.
He's gone over 5.5 targets 3 times this season.
We got to wrap this up.
How many targets do you need when you're scoring 90-yard touchdowns?
Dude, Overzet has places to be. Let's go. All
right. Overzet, you go next.
Yeah, I'm going to try to round this out with the all former Dolphins headshot lineup. I'm going to do Kenyon Drake. Last year
gross.
No, it's pretty
I
nice,
like the reasoning behind it personally.
No, and look, Cleveland's a bit of a, dare I say, run funnel. And,
banned.
And, you
not
can't
sneaking
mute
it
me.
by me.
Simon, you gonna try to mute me? I don't have to defend my choices on here.
I mean, I thought it was a good pick.
Thank you.
Gross. All right. Davis, we'll give you one pick.
Godwin.
Even with Slay?
No, we already determined that Slay is covering Justin Watson.
I like how Davis already said his stuff has Hopkins 4 points better. We have a Tannehill Brown stack, and he decides to bring it back with
Kitchen.
Chris Godwin.
You forget this is a cash team, so
yeah, we can flex Hopkins here pretty easily.
We're not trying to make it too volatile, though.
All right, Tuttle, who you like?
I'm going to flex Hopkins.
I like it. I'm going to play this in all my head-to-head GPPs.
What's the $100 single entry called on FanDuel, Peter?
The Spy, brother. Oh, on FanDuel? Oh, God if I know. The after the RG single entry series, the rake was too damn high, my man.
All right. Anybody like a tight end this week on FanDuel? Tuttle, you got one?
Well, we can play anyone we want basically here.
Higbee is so cheap.
But you don't need to on FanDuel.
You don't have to on FanDuel.
Do you, sir?
Would you rather play Kelsey, Kittle, or Ertz this week?
I'll take Kittle of those 3.
Okay. Davis goes with Ertz. Tuttle goes the grown-ass man. Peter?
Well, let's just continue to gaslight our listeners, and I'll say Travis Kelce.
Good job, guys. We got it covered. We can say we got it right.
I will go with, let me look at our projections to see who has the most. Travis Kelce.
You need these on hand when you do that voice, Dave.
I've got him on my desk.
Come on, man. Get your prop game tighter.
I know. All right. Tight ends, though. Let's talk about Higbee, though, because this new offensive scheme by the Rams, he's just like, they're designing stuff for him. He's 3.9K on DraftKings. Davis, any reason not to like Higbee this week?
I mean, maybe if Everett plays, you think that his playing time gets scaled back a little bit because they'll want to play Kupp a little bit more after all of this. I mean, there's just so much attention being paid to the fact that Cooper Kupp has not played. I would, if I was having to wager on over/under 40% of the snaps for Cooper Kupp next week, I would take the over.
And why are you so confident in that?
Because Davis knows everything.
He's just a big part of their offense. Like, I don't know. It just feels weird for him to be go from being their leading everything, like leading targets, leading catches, leading yards, leading touchdowns, and then go to being below Tyler Higbee in the pecking order. I mean, maybe it will be stable, but
it wasn't just below Tyler Higbee, but like Josh Reynolds was getting snaps over.
Johnny Munt played more snaps, actually.
Johnny Munt, yeah, was like 50-something snaps. Like, you're talking about things not making sense. Let's try to, like, we still don't know what happened last year to Todd Gurley. Like, I just don't think this is an offense.
I think we do know what happened.
Not really. They never said it.
He just dusted.
Okay, well, could it be the same thing?
He had a medical condition called dustiness.
Yeah, well, you're acting like things will just magically appear to what they were, and I'm saying that, like, we have at least one case where the mysterious ways just
David,
continued
let me tell you a
into
little
the
bit.
Super Bowl.
Let me tell you a little something about projections.
Oh, do you have inside info?
If you respond massively to every data point that you get, your projections are always going to be horrible. You should always be trying to stay as close to as possible to your baseline.
So you don't believe in trends then?
I mean, that's a very broad statement. I would say some trends might be like have some signal, but more likely than not, you're going to be a dog chasing its tail if you're doing this stuff. If you're massively,
we don't have time for an existential conversation about projections right now.
So Davis, what's your cup usage this week?
I'll tell you. We have him projected for 20.8% market share of the Rams targets. That sounds about right to me.
So how much cup are you playing this week?
I would think none.
Oh, interesting.
So he was at a 12% target share last week, for what it's worth.
Here's an interesting stat I heard. In 6 of the last 9 games, either Everett or Higbee have finished as the number 1 or number 2 target in the offense. So almost irregardless, because that was back when Kupp was still playing a ton, that the tight ends can get theirs.
Higbee's still a smash.
Hey, Davis, what do your baseline projections have for Cooks?
He's dust.
Yeah, he is dust.
That's the guy.
We have him for 9% market share of the targets. He's had one spiked target game all year long. He's been no better. He's only been better than 3rd on the team in targets in 1 game this season.
I mean, I agree he's dust. I just don't know how, Davis, you can talk about like baseline projections and then not include him in those like baseline projections.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you lost me on that one, Kitchen.
Well, you're acting like what happened to Cooks, basically.
No, Cooks is just dust.
He turned into dust.
And is dusty.
Cooks is on like the 50th concussion of his lifetime.
Yeah, Cooks had a concussion. So it's not like it was.
This medical condition of dustiness, man, this is probably the biggest scourge on the entire NFL.
It has a wide-ranging impact in the National Football League. It really does.
All right. Tune in next week where you can get Davis's take on who's dusty and who's not.
He's our generation's David Chow.
Yeah. Oh, man. We need to have a segment of dustiness or variance. And Davis, just like tell us. What can we ignore?
I'd be happy to.
Yeah. I know you would.
I think the people would find that illuminating.
All right, Dave, ask Tuttle for his terrible take.
All right.
I gave Jacoby Myers, man.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that not terrible enough for you?
No, but
that's good.
You said you were going to deliver it with enthusiasm.
Jacoby Myers.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
All right. Final thoughts, Overzet?
Boots on the ground. Patrick Laird going to 5X. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Davis, my brother. I'll see you on Saturday afternoon. My brother and son and the Laird.
Davis, final thoughts? How much Saquon Barkley this week? Watching a generational talent in person like Saquon, how amazing will that be?
Is pumped.
There is one generational talent running back in that game. Unfortunately, he's not on the New York Giants roster.
All right.
You know what I should do? I should print out a bunch of Davis Mattek's old Saquon Barkley tweets and put them on poster board and introduce him to Giants fans.
Do it. do it.
All right, that will do it for this week's SWOLECAST. Final thought. Someone's going to win $1 million. Might as well be me with a Titans double stack.
Okay.
We didn't talk about Corey Davis.
Hard to win on a
points.
double stack with 22 passing attempts, but certainly it could happen.
20 points out of Corey Davis.
Hey, he got
this
up to
week as
27 passing attempts last week.
Good for him.
How do you need a lot of passing attempts if you're just
If every pass goes for a 90-yard touchdown,
thrower ever? You don't need a lot of pass attempts if every pass is going that far down the field and if every pass is getting caught. Sustain it. All right. That will be it. We'll see you next week here on the SWOLECAST on RotoGrinders.com.